These days, we use our phones for everything. It's amazing how much we can do from these devices that we simply hold in our hand. And the computing power is mind boggling. The latest iPhone processor runs at speeds that are over 55,000 times faster than the computer on the Apollo 11. It's mind blowing, isn't it? And just because our phones have this insane amount of computing power doesn't mean we should let our phones control us. So, I'm going to share some tips with you today on how you can take back control of your phone so that your phone isn't controlling you. Hi, I'm Kate Huffnagel, the Digital Wrangler, and welcome to my 5-part iPhone Wrangle Challenge. After working 25 years in high-tech fields like software development, big data, and artificial intelligence, I started my own business, the Digital Wrangler, because I want to put my technical know-how to use so that everyone can benefit. Today's video is part of a 5-video series. Each video will present you a challenge to help put you in the driver's seat of your iPhone. And at the end of each video, you'll better understand some of the capabilities and features of your phone, how you uniquely use it, and perhaps you'll even have an aha moment or two about how your phone has been running you. So, you ready to get started? If you don't already have your phone, now would be a great time to get it. I encourage you to take steps on these challenges real time, and please, if you have a question, post it in the comments below. As we go along, I'm going to split my screen into two so you can both follow along with what I'm saying and follow along with my phone so that you can find the settings as well. Given the ridiculous number of settings on the iPhones, I'm expecting some of you may not know where to find some of these settings. So sharing my phone screen will hopefully make that easier for you. All right, here we go. Today's video topic relates to you. I'm going to introduce you and show you 3 possible ways for you to wrangle and reclaim your phone. As I go through each of these, I encourage you to ask yourself, which one of these do I want to give a try? First, we're going to start with my favoriteest of all settings. Yes, Mom, I know that's not grammatically correct. Have you all heard of the Do Not Disturb feature? This setting allows you to put your phone in a sleep mode, so to speak, and prevents you from receiving notifications. And you can set up exceptions to that rule too, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. My favorite use of Do Not Disturb is helping me prepare for bedtime. Let me show you how easy it is to set this up. So if you go into your phone and click on Settings, you want to scroll down till you see like the half moon, crescent moon, I don't know what shape you want to call it, focus. Okay? So let's click on focus. Then you're going to want to click on Do Not Disturb. So from here, you're going to click Add a Schedule or Automation. So let's just say that I want to turn my phone off at, say, 8:40 in the evenings. And then I'm going to want it to kind of come back to life, let's say at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And I'm going to have that set up for every single day of the week. Right? So I hit done. Now I'm going to ask myself, do I want anyone to kind of override that schedule? So I'm going to go into people, and I am going to put my muchacho because I love the man, and usually we spend pretty much all the nights together. But if he's ever traveling, I want him to be able to override what the Do Not Disturb mode. So I'm going to select him. And then you'll also see a feature called Also Allow. So I am going to allow phone calls from people in my favorites. If you don't know how to set up favorites, that's a topic for another time. But here I'm going to select favorites. So like my bonus kids, my siblings, my parents obviously are all set as favorites. And I'm going to keep on my setting for allow repeated calls. So if someone calls me multiple times in 3 minutes, that call will also become exempt, and my phone will alert me to it being rang. So that's how you set up do not disturb. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, even though I only showed you how to set up one schedule, I will let you know that I actually have two. I have do not disturb set up for weekday nights, where that comes off at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And then on the weekends, I have that scheduled so it goes until like 9 o'clock. So my phone doesn't bother me. This gives me an opportunity to sleep in a little bit or just have a little bit of a quiet morning on the weekends. The second setting I'm going to show you relates to email. Nothing drives me more bonkers than my phone dinging throughout the day. Bleep, bleep, bleep. Or when I'm at a restaurant and the person next to me's phone is just going off, blah, 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 all the time while I'm trying to enjoy a night out for dinner. I'm not a lab rat. I don't need to respond to every time that my phone makes a noise. And I'm kind of inclined to think that you don't either. I mean, I think back to memories of growing up, having dinner as a family at the kitchen table, and given the kitchen layout, I remember I'm thinking this was in the early 80s, and the phone would ring during dinner. And I just remember my mom vividly saying, "Don't answer it. We're having dinner. If it's important, they will call us back." So why can't we just take that same philosophy and apply it to our phones? Everyone watching this video here has an iPhone, so I'm assuming that everyone can and does access their email from their phones. And when it comes to emails, there's a clever setting called fetch, which is a little hidden in our settings. Let me show you where to find the fetch setting. So if you go into your phone, you go into settings, and then here you're going to want to scroll down quite a little bit of ways, and you're going to want to click on mail. And here you're going to click accounts. You'll see I do have 4 accounts feeding into my phone, not a big deal. And then you'll see all the way at the bottom this fetch new data, and it's turned off. Right? Anybody here have that turned on? Let me show you what that looks like. If it was turned on, you'd have the green indicator here next to push. Right? Well, if any one of you has that turned on, congratulations. Your phone has been working overtime to constantly look for new email. Now, perhaps you have a significant role in your job where you need to be constantly alerted to emails. If that's the case, then maybe it would be more effective for you to be using your laptop or your computer for email rather than relying on your phone. And I fully recognize that that's a personal decision. But given what I know about people in general, I'm not convinced we all need to have push turned on. So by turning push off, we're now telling our phone when we want our phones to check for new email. And I have mine set to manual. So if you scroll down below the list of accounts, you'll see that I have manual. This means whenever I open my email app, that is when my phone is going to check and pull new emails. Right? So I have the app open for email. Maybe I like pull it down. That's when it's checking for new email. If I'm not in my email, I don't want my phone looking for new emails. And not only does this save on battery life, but it puts me in control of my phone. Now, some of you may not feel comfortable having that set to manual. So maybe you want to set it to hourly. Okay. I certainly recommend that you don't have it set on automatic because, like I said, it's going to drain your battery. If you happen to have cellular data turned on for mail, then when you're out and about, going to the post office or getting groceries, it's constantly going to be looking for email. So not only would that be draining your battery, but it's also going to be eating up your cellular data plan too. So I encourage you to set that to manual, maybe once an hour. See how you like it, and in a few days, maybe you experiment with a different setting. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about today pertains to notifications. I was at a professional organizing conference not too long ago, and the individual sitting next to me was receiving constant notifications, had tons of red circles on most of her apps. Just glancing over her shoulder and looking at her phone just gave me so much anxiety. Let me show you where to find notifications. So let's go into settings. Notifications is near the top, which is great, a little bit easier to find than some of our settings that we've looked at today. So you click on notifications, and as you can see, it lists all of the apps that I have installed on my phone in alphabetical order. All right, and if you glance through my list, you'll see I have notifications turned off for almost all of my apps. There are some apps I think that you're going to want to be notified, similar to me. For instance, my phone, for one. If someone's calling me, I want my phone to ring. Right? If someone sends me a text message during the day, I'd like to get an alert. Right? That doesn't mean I'm responding right away, but at least I get an alert. I also do have my COVID notifications turned on, and FaceTime as well. I mean, if my nephews are wanting to FaceTime me, absolutely, I want to be notified that they are calling me. I do not want to miss a call from them. So I encourage you to go through your apps one by one, turn on or turn off notifications as you see fit and how they are going to work best for you. Now, if you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to see the government alerts. And yes, you actually can turn those on and off as well. So if you don't want to receive any alerts, here's where you can turn them off. So you have an option for amber alerts. You don't want to receive those, then go ahead and touch that and gray it out so that you don't receive those. Emergency alerts I have on along with public safety alerts. So if there's a hailstorm coming, if there's a tornado warning, if I need to evacuate, heaven forbid, because there's a fire in my area, I want to receive those notifications. Okay, so I just walked you through 3 different settings that can help you take back some control over your phone and your life. They were do not disturb, fetching on email, and notifications. So here's your challenge. And maybe you've already been working on it as I've been speaking. I challenge you to take one action related to these 3 settings that make sense for you. And once you've taken your action, I love for you to share in the comments what action you took so I can support you and cheer you on. So as a quick summary of the videos in this series so far, we first tackled how to declutter the pictures in your photo album. Then we talked about how to extend the battery life of your phone. I showed you how to find information on how you're utilizing your storage space on your phone. And today I gave you tips on 3 phone settings that might help you take back some control of your phone and ultimately your life. I hope these topics have been helpful to you. The last video in this series is going to touch on emergency and security settings. I know it may not be the most fun topic, but it is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. So I hope you'll join me in watching the next video on that. Until then, thanks for watching.